Coming up on Mountain News this morning, the skies of Corbin will be dark this 4th of July after officials called off the annual fireworks display. Plus, Bluegrass Care Navigators in Hazard has a new member of their team, a four-legged friend that's ready to help some patients.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning. It is 6:34 on this Friday, May the 15th. I'm Will Puckett. Thank you for tuning in to Mountain News this morning. Many of you will be waking up to some warm temperatures, and some others of you might be waking up to a little bit of fog. But hey, that's just the name of the game in mid-May. Let's bring Brandon in this morning. And Brandon, I believe this forecast is sponsored by something. Am I right?
You are correct, sir. The letters T, G, I, and F. We've made it to another weekend, and the forecast not too bad for that weekend. Let's take a look at those fog numbers this morning. As Will mentioned, some limited visibility in London, Williamsburg, and Jonesville showing up on our sensors. If we know it's rough outside WYMT this morning, we're going to show you that right now. But here's the thing I want you to look at. Look just behind the WYMT logo. That's the sunshine. So it's already trying to peek through there. Once we get the fog out of here, it's going to be a beautiful day once again. Temperatures 68 Irvin, 61 Wise, 50s in some of those sheltered valleys. It is 50 here at the house, just about 10 minutes from Whitesburg in Letcher County. So again, it's one of those days where it's kind of sheltered valleys, a little cooler than those ridge tops, but even some of the valley locations in the 60s this morning. Your out the door forecast heading for 82, maybe even a little bit better today. We got to 84 yesterday. We'll see if that rain holds off, but scattered chances for showers and storms will be around in the heat of the day this afternoon, kind of that typical summer-like pattern as we head into your Friday. The rest of the forecast coming up here in a little bit. Will?
Summer-like pattern, just the name of the game, Brandon. Thank you. Well, more younger adults in Kentucky are testing positive for COVID-19. Medical experts say they do not believe more young people are getting infected, but that our statewide testing is finally giving us a more accurate picture of who has COVID-19. With Governor Andy Beshear encouraging all Kentuckians to get tested for COVID-19, those numbers should continue to rise. But doctors tell us that is not a sign that things are getting worse.
And so by expanding testing, we're naturally going to pick up those numbers. And so the number positive are going to go up. But I think we're going to still continue to see the numbers of admissions and deaths actually to continue to drop off.
Medical experts say another benefit to expanded testing is alerting those who may have it but are not showing symptoms that they should not be in contact with anyone. In Kentucky, people in their 40s are infected more than any other age group. Well, the skies of Corbin will unfortunately be dark this 4th of July after officials called off the annual fireworks display. While a difficult decision, organizers say it is in the best interest of public safety. I talked with them about what went into that decision. This 4th of July, the streets of Corbin will be a little quieter.
It was extremely difficult because we knew we were going to be disappointing a lot of people.
Earlier this week, commissioners with Corbin Tourism and Convention Commission Board erred on the side of caution and called off this year's fireworks show.
The board unanimously decided that in the interest of public safety to cancel the fireworks this year.
With a price tag of $12,000, the fireworks are an expenditure that the board cannot afford.
Looking at our budget and the 50% reduction and what we were going to bring in from revenue generation, we really had to cut all, special programs and sponsorships.
On top of that, with thousands expected to line the streets and come into the city, this was a health-centered move as well.
Thousands of people who congregate, down the Cumberland Falls Highway, in all the parking lots, here at the exit. So, it easily brings 5,000 to 7,000 people.
And while they know they will miss the shoppers, eaters, and moviegoers before,
it was an extremely difficult decision.
They hope by calling it off this year, they are able to save it for next year and years after. In Corbin, Will Puckett, WYMT Mountain News. Now, Kriebel says they hope they are able to amend their 2021 budget quarterly as they get more money flowing in. Now, Bluegrass Care Navigators in Hazard has a new member of their team, Grace, their first therapy dog. She is part of the Integral Medicine program, which includes art, music, and massage therapy. Grace is 1 year old. She just completed 9 months of training. She will be visiting patients at the Greg and Noreen Wells Hospice Care Center, as well as other nursing homes and assisted living facilities. She has only been at the center a few weeks, but they are already seeing the help that she provides.
It was really beneficial to the patient and the family. They were so excited, and you could just feel, I heard staff say, you could just feel the atmosphere change, and that everybody seemed to be more comfortable, more relaxed, and she just brightened the day.
Bluegrass Care Navigators will be looking for volunteers who will be trained how to handle Grace and take her on visits. I think that's pretty cool. Well, yesterday was a special day for 8th graders at Arley Boggs Elementary School in Letcher County. Instead of walking into a gym to pomp and circumstance, they marched into cars to drive in graduation. Principal Freddie Terry wanted to make this day as special as he could, while also having it feel as close to a normal graduation as possible.
When you've been here as long as I have, and you watch them come from kindergarten, you love them like your own kids.
Many students were skeptical of the plans at first, but tell us they were happy they got at least one chance to celebrate with classmates. Meanwhile, Terry said they worked with the health department to make sure all guidelines were followed. Well, as everyone is trying to get through these unusual times, people handle the situation differently. WYMT's Madison Pergram shows us how one Laurel County girl put her creative skills to work to help inspire others.
On a normal day, you would find 17-year-old Kenna Kemper working or attending South Laurel High School.
I really enjoyed the time to myself and being with my family, but I've missed hanging with my friends and being with them.
Her dad, Kenny Kemper, says singing is an everyday activity.
She's been playing and singing, dancing since she was maybe before she could walk and talk.
Her faith, family, and friends is what inspired her during quarantine to put her musical talents to work.
First few weeks of quarantine, God just really laid all of our seniors on my heart, and I knew a lot of them were feeling really broken and hopeless.
It was those seniors, her friends, that was the reason for her to write this song.
Honestly, it was kind of easy just because I really had a lot on my heart and there was a lot on my mind.
A song with a specific message that echoes through.
The reason for everything, and that as long as we trust in God, that He's going to help us through it no matter what.
Even in what seems to be a world of unknown.
They didn't know if they were going to have prom, graduation, or senior seasons, and I just wanted to give them encouragement.
For Kenna, it is more than hitting a note, but hitting a chord that many need and want to hear. In London, Madison Pergram, WYMT Mountain News.
Now, Kenna says she hopes to continue writing songs in the future.
Well, it's time now for our daily Helpers and Heroes segment, where we showcase and highlight first responders and frontline heroes and all kinds of fine folks from across the region. Let's get right into our pictures this morning. And our first picture today is a group of folks who are out and about almost every day, no matter the circumstances. I actually saw this picture showcased on one of the social media posts at the Governor's News Conference earlier this week, or last week, I think. This is Danita Newsom, Josh Harris, Teresa Harfield, Michael Coleman, Aaron Tackett, and Betty Thacker from the Pikeville Post Office. Danita, who submitted this picture, said rain, sleet, snow, hail, or COVID-19 can't stop them. Our next picture was submitted by Rhonda. This is Amber Combs. Amber is a nurse in the labor and delivery unit at Highlands ARH in Prestonsburg. We thank her for her service and dedication, especially to one of the groups who need it the most, our babies. And finally today, our last picture comes to us from Harlan. This one was sent in by Nanny. She used to work with this group of folks at the Harlan Medical Center Pharmacy and says they are all heroes in her books. Thank you for letting us showcase your friends here on the air this morning. And of course, you can still submit those over on the website. One request, though, make sure you put a description and a name with them. Some of the folks we had submit pictures, but no information with them. We can't use those because we don't know anything about those fine folks, and we definitely want to showcase them. Going over to WYMT.com, click on the Helpers and Heroes link, or you can find it right there on the homepage below the radar. You've got the Helpers and Heroes section. Just hit the Add Media button. Will?
All righty, Brandon, thank you. And thank you for joining us right here on Mountain News this morning. We'll be right back with some of today's top stories.